Over the last several years, Blizzard has hinted at countless new heroes through live BlizzCon discussion panels, patch notes, and data mined information. There are too many heroes to cover in this video, so I'll focus on those that we have more information on than others. It's also worth pointing out I won't discuss any heroes that were replaced with another, for example Horace Warfield, who featured heavily in early iterations of the game but was ultimately replaced by Sergeant Hammer since he was never shown to pilot a tank. We will start with Reinhardt, since I hinted to this in a previous video thumbnail. According to an interview with Blizzard dev Brett Crawford, Reinhardt has been in testing since 2019. However, the devs were struggling to prototype his barrier field ability, which is a rather iconic piece of toolkit. Because of the difficulties, they decided to implement Mei as an Overwatch tank in the meantime. Brett later went on to explain that they were struggling to get the barrier field to block AoE projectiles, and there were too many similarities with existing heroes to warrant further development. With that being said, many heroes have already undergone significant reworks from their original IPs, so this wouldn't be too much of an issue. Mei, for example, the hero they chose to replace Reinhardt with, is missing a critical piece of her toolkit, the ability to freeze enemies in place. Similarly, she can't make a huge rolling snowball, at least in the current version of Overwatch. We see plenty of shield barrier characters in MOBAs, and they seem to work perfectly, for example Braum from League of Legends. Heroes also lack tanks, so this could be a great place to start. On to World of Warcraft, possibly the IP with the most rich lore and characters to choose from. I alluded to my interest in seeing one of the Naga enter the Nexus in an earlier video, and there are two possible references made by Blizzard, those being Queen Ashara and Lady Vash. Ashara in particular had specific voice lines created, just take a listen.
You will never be forgiven, Ashara. I have no words for you, traitor.
It's hard to believe you survived. I serve no one.
But that's all we've got. Vash, on the other hand, has been referenced a few times, including pre-launch, and we were given a sneak peek into Hot's development hit list in 2011, which by the way featured lots of heroes that they did go on to add, and some they haven't, so perhaps some further hints here. There have also been data mined voice lines and hero interaction strings going back as early as 2014 for Vash. Either Naga has plenty of options. Between them they have a rather diverse toolset. Ashara in her original form could be a priest or mage once she's formed her pact with N'Zoth, while Vash is likely to be a ranged assassin because of her bow aptitude. As a side note, also on the Night Elf bandwagon, we have voice lines alluding to Chandris.
Steel yourself, Chandris. Our enemy is cunning and will not relent.
Perhaps another bow-wielding Night Elf, but we already have a few of these, so it's unlikely to be added to the game. Moving into Blizzard's original IPs, Kyle, Blackthorne, Flaros, a particular favourite of long-time Blizzard fans. Blackthorne was originally created in 1994 on the SNES and later Sega Genesis. The protagonist was a renowned military captain and mercenary, with a plethora of tools at his disposal including his shotgun and bombs. The first reference to Blackthorne was made as early as 2014 in a Heroes Developer Ask Me Anything Reddit thread. There are also references made at PAX Prime 2014 and BlizzCon 2017, though it's fair to say that most of this was driven by fans' interest rather than Blizzard. Later they did mention that they intend for all fans to have their most favourite character in the Nexus, so it's about time this happened. If I were to speculate, Blackthorne's unique mechanic could revolve around his shotgun. We have plenty of heroes with AoE auto attacks, for example Zarya and D.Va, but none of these do this in a burst fashion, similar to Graves of League of Legends. Yes, we have Greymane's Hunter's Blunderbuss, but this is splash damage. Going back to the original Blizzard developer hit list, you may have noticed Tosh on the right hand side, a Terran Spectre who possesses psionic abilities. Similar to Lady Vash, there have been voice lines and hero interaction strings data mined as early as 2014, though I suspect Blizzard favoured adding Nova as another member of the Ghost Academy. His psionic abilities would give him a unique toolset, which is the basis upon which Blizzard likes to develop their new heroes. You could play on his psionic aptitude and mix in silence abilities and mind control. For example, we don't yet have a mechanic whereby you can switch the team of an opposition player, making them vulnerable to their own team and unable to target your friendlies. This could be devastating in a teamfight scenario, but perhaps more prolific among Blizzard chat rooms is Arcturus Mengsk. Brett Crawford, the same developer I mentioned earlier, alluded that they were prototyping Mengsk at the same time as Reinhardt in 2019, so we could be closer than you think to have him in the game. Though I suspect in the end, we already have too many Terran and Protoss, we should expect more Zerg or even Xel'Naga from the StarCraft universe. Now I couldn't end this video without pointing out Kira's trophy wall. Kira, as we know, is an original hero created for Heroes of the Storm, similar to Warfare. She has a trophy wall in her cutscene that features a few skulls and items from characters from other IPs, many of which we already know have an established place in the Nexus, so it's a fair assumption that some of these could suggest heroes being on the developer's hit list. These include Brigitte's shield, Reaper's mask, Sir Finley's skull, miscellaneous Devil Saw and Imp skulls. So to conclude, we know that there are already several heroes that have gone through the development pipeline, such that their mechanics and perhaps character models have already been fleshed out. Despite the 2-year dry spell for new heroes, a new one might be closer than we think, especially if Microsoft were to pump some more money into the franchise. I'm interested, of all the heroes and characters highlighted in this video, who do you think will be most suited, or who are you the most excited for? Or perhaps what mechanics and gameplay style do you foresee them having? As always, feel free to like, dislike or comment on this video, it helps me and the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe for more content and I will see you in the next upload.